let's get this party sharded. Almost fell over. Oh shit. Oh, that's the wrong date. And now for the trick. Guess I'm gonna have to reboot because the sound is fucking up. Lovely. Come on, Gamecube. What's wrong with you? And there we go. GBinterface. Let's see. And start. Come on.
Where's the loading button? I need it.
Give me just a moment, T. It's a bit loud. Oh. Hey Beans, how you doing? Finally decided it was time for another Zelda game, T. Thank you, hon. Appreciated. Cute bean. 34 months. You've been streaking naked for 32 of them, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see my dad's old file still here. Don't know how long the battery's gonna last much longer, but... Also...
You should see if you can copy that save file.
Maybe I might be able to. I have to figure out how to do it, though.
You need something you plug the cartridge into, but yeah, you can rip save files easily.
So this is basically through the Game Boy player with Gameboy Interface through Swiss, because, let's be honest, the software that came with the Game Boy player was garbage. And I'm using an actual Game Boy Advance as a controller. The only downside is it has to have batteries in and be turned on. So I haven't actually played through anything for any length of time with this, so we'll have to see how it works out. Ought to be interesting. By the way, how's the audio balance sound?
Good.
Hello,
Check it.
Deacus. Welcome on in. How's it going?
It's a little bit loud on stream. I'd take it down like 8%.
For the game? Okay. How's that?
Let me check. It's better.
Alrighty. Ganon Boof. Funky. Unfortunately, he's only a footnote in this pair of games. But welcome on in. Make yourself comfortable.
Wait, if you use the code between the two games, don't you get to fight him?
You do. You have to do that,
Like
though.
the post game.
Yes.
There was going to actually be a third game where it was going to be centrally around Ganon, but they never made that. There was actually going to be 7 Oracle games in the Oracle franchise. But they only ended up making 2 of them.
Ah. Well, that's cool, Deacus. So you went from the newest Zelda to one of the older ones. That's a big switch, isn't it? Oh yeah, welcome on in. Accept our quest, hero. I don't think I'm going to do cheesy voices this time. I don't know, maybe if people want them. This looks very different on a TV. Quite a bit so. Oh, you and me both, Deacus. I want a remake. Perhaps one where they can make the music better.
Yeah.
Because I know that's T-Fox's biggest complaint.
My biggest complaint with the soundtrack of the Oracle games is it feels like they weren't written for the Game Boy speaker. Like, it feels like they didn't have the speaker of the system in mind when they did it. Or the sound chip.
Well, we'll have to see how it plays out with this. It's still the same sound chip, if I recall, a GBA one at least. But it's coming through a different system. That would be more than we could hope for, Deacus. I wouldn't hope for that much, but I would love it. That said, though, if you're curious on how this is being displayed, this is on my old childhood cartridge that I got during the Christmas holidays, and I sat by the light of a Christmas tree to play them. There was also the... So it's plugged into a Japanese Game Boy player that I have to run by using Swiss to use Game Boy Interface. So, to that end, I had to boot up Wind Waker first to use a save exploit.
Remember back in the day when Sega was the only major game company that had backlit portables?
Wow. There's a thought.
Yeah, there were Sega handhelds that were backlit. I think the Nomad was? The original Game Gear was not backlit, but there was a version of the Game Gear that was backlit, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Oh, by the way, it's one of the dear beans that I spend quite a bit of time with who actually did the overlay. Hawthorne did.
Yeah.
So basically, they made it out of nowhere for me, and I go like, oh, okay, I'll use it. And now it kind of looks like an old TV or something.
It's also got an overlay where it looks old.
Yeah, I can go ahead. Let's just beat it up a bit. Let's see.
Yeah, let's do that, because you're playing a Game Boy game.
Apparently the overlay damage isn't working. Let's see. Order. Yeah, I don't think it works anymore.
Oh.
I'll have to look into that later. But yeah, it's pretty good.
By the way, honey, what do you think of that recipe I threw at you earlier?
It sounds interesting. I haven't thought of having cold soups, but I do remember them from culinary school, and they weren't bad.
It's not a soup so much as it's noodles with a very small amount of concentrated broth on it.
Yeah.
It's like a whole package of ramen noodles with like, I would even say like it's like a third of a cup of broth I put on it.
That's
With
neat.
a bunch of mung bean sprouts.
Oh, by the way, with GBI, I forced the game to be 480p 60. Also, it's going through a HDMI converter. Forgot to mention that.
Yeah, I was actually playing a Zelda game this morning.
Which one?
Tears for Fears of the Kingdom.
Honestly, I think Nintendo's too timid about their properties.
You know what game I actually feel could use a remake?
What?
It's got a timeless art style, but I do feel like you could update that art style to modern systems. Yoshi's Island. I genuinely think that while the original Yoshi's Island looks great and plays great and still holds up, you could do some really interesting things with modern graphics with it as well. I think it's something that doesn't need a remake, but I'd kind of like it just for like to see how they reimagine the style. That or Yoshi's Story, because Yoshi's Story could definitely look way better with modern graphics.
Yeah, you got that right, D, because I'm not sure why they won't put the Dragon Quest games onto Steam or PC platforms. It's not
Dragon Quest MMO.
Yeah.
Japan only.
Hawthorne's still salty about that.
Dude, I love that they announced that they were going to have a non-MOBA version of it. And also that version isn't coming out here either.
I have an idea. So, as far as Dragon Quest goes, should I play the Switch version I have, or should I play it on the original NES cartridge I have for it, after fixing up the Nintendo?
Play Dragon Warrior.
Play the absolute original?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Suffer through the original Dragon Quest.
I do know it has bugs, Ember. My worry would be about saving. Probably have to break out the soldering iron and just put in a new save battery just to be certain.
I'll be legit, the only Dragon Quest game that I have played is the latest one. I enjoyed what I did play of it, but I only got... I got up to just before where you get the third-party member.
Yeah, my first time playing through it was actually on my phone, believe it or not.
Yeah, the only party member I have right now is Eric.
Ah.
Which was the Dragon Quest on Super Famicom?
There are 2 of them.
Oh, I thought there
It's...
was only one.
Nope, it's 5 and 6, and then it went straight to PlayStation.
I want to play one of those as like my first vintage Dragon Quest game.
Honestly, 3 is probably the most fleshed out ones.
I don't want to play any of the NES ones, to be honest. I have seen them. They just didn't seem like they were for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more interested in the SNES ones onward, but that's how I am with RPGs. I actually don't like any of the RPGs on the original NES except for, like, Final Fantasy III. And this is, like, me being a huge fan of Mother, I do feel like Mother 1 has aged like bananas.
Ah, cool.
Although the narrative still stands up, because it still had, like, a decent narrative for the time.
It still feels weird using an actual Game Boy Advance as a controller for this, though. Honestly, I think Varen was the better of the villains between the 2.
Yeah, I've kind of interpreted it that people like Varen are using the power that Demise had, but are not, like, able to full control it, if that makes sense. Like, they're channeling evil, but they don't have exclusive control of it, unlike Ganondorf, rather.
I've played through these games so many times, but it's still fun.
So what I'm hearing from you is you enjoy playing with balls and seeds.
The thing is, they actually did a not bad story for either of these. Though Ages was definitely better. Ah, you're gonna do some Earthbound? Cool. Quick question, Dekus. What do you typically focus on when streaming?
I feel like Earthbound is actually one of those titles that could really benefit from a remake, because it has some things where quality of life improvements would actually really help.
You know, maybe they should do it in the same style, in a similar style, that they did to, say, Link's Awakening.
I wouldn't want it to look as plastic because Earthbound doesn't take place in a dream. I think the plasticine and plastic look works for Link's Awakening specifically because it's a dream world. I really did like the aesthetics of that remake because I felt it fit the theming, and a lot of people hated it, and I was like, nah, I think, no, given that it's a dream, it makes sense. Earthbound has the really big problem that when you get a new party member, they come at a really low level and you have to grind them up.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the big improvements they could do is literally just have it that when people join your party, they join at a higher level. Like, stuff like that. Little things.
You mean join at a useful level?
Yeah. Like, maybe not as high as the party, but a couple levels behind. Not, like, Paula showing up at level 1. That was awful. That's the most egregious one, is Paula showing up at, like, level 1.
Huh. Yeah, choosing RPGs is a pain, Dekus. They're very long. Especially Atlas games.
I still love that old joke. Cut me open. I need surgery. But I'm not a surgeon. You've played Trauma Center. I never finished it. Of course you didn't finish it. It's an Atlas game. It didn't have to be that brutal.
Well, here's the thing, Dekus. Ultimately, I'm gonna level with you. Most of us, it's never gonna be more than a hobby. So, here's the thing. Play something you enjoy. People can tell when you hate it.
There's also something to be said where some games aren't fun to stream. I don't
No,
enjoy
some aren't
streaming Persona because of the way Persona's story is told. It's just a lot of sitting around watching cutscenes, and I don't feel like that's fun on stream for me as the person doing the streaming. I'm fine with watching it, but like as the person broadcasting, I don't enjoy it.
Well, yeah, there's less for you yourself to do. Like, you're
Exactly. I feel like I'd
basically...
love to interact with.
You're enjoying half a movie, and then when you're doing all the fighting things, you're basically coming up with silly jokes and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like I'm only like able to actually like do anything in those moments in between.
Yeah.
It's like, while I'm doing a dungeon run, it's great, and then you get between dungeon runs and you have like 3 entire days of like cutscenes and stuff. Just Persona.
But yeah. Some things are more fun to stream than others. Some things offer more ability to interact with viewers than others.
Although
And
some people do enjoy those story-heavy games. Like, there's nothing wrong with
yeah,
like. It
it
also
comes
comes down
down
to
to
what you
individual.
enjoy streaming. Because I'm not going to say that, oh, Persona isn't fun to stream. It's not fun for me to stream.
Now, personally, if I stream Persona, I'm going to be doing a New Game Plus run. But yeah, go with what's fun for you. Is that necessarily always going to be the best quote-unquote streaming material? No. But it's better than being miserable. Like, people like Fortnite streams. I don't really generally play Fortnite that much unless a friend drags me into it, though. Not to mention, let's be honest, that is one hell of a crowded stream category.
I think the only popular stream game that I actually stream is Dead by Daylight.
Well, it's pretty cool seeing the reactions.
It's, you know what, I'm gonna be playing it anyways, so I may as well. Last few times, there are times I've been playing as Trapper though, which is always really fun because he's the worst killer in the game.
So when you wreck shit
Absolutely
with
the
it, people
worst.
hate it.
Oh yeah. Trapper has to have 800 IQ to be average. I'd say he's maybe just like tied with Michael Myers for the worst character in the game. Because with him, you have to just like, God, it's so mental to play him.
Ye-
And then Michael Myers, it's like, ugh.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Also, Dekus, as far as Like a Dragon goes, I don't know. It seems like it might be an entry drug, like an entry drug for Yakuza, isn't it?
I actually have Kiwami 1, and I need to play it at some point.
I also have the classic versions of the GTA games. Maybe I should play those eventually.
I wish you could still get those.
Yeah, I got Steam keys for it when I realized it was happening. Like I go like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna play them, but if I do, I'd rather play the better version.
You know, I realize what all the people look like in the remakes.
What?
Have you ever seen those videos where people took the Space Jam LeBron James toy and were inflating them with water? That's what they
Funky.
look like. Tell me I'm wrong.
Ah. And there's our classic Zelda jingle. But yeah, I decided to use the GBA as my controller because the GameCube D-pad sucks ass. It is truly annoying.
One of the worst D-pads in gaming, but you have to admit, the best triggers in gaming.
They were nice. I can say that I prefer the Steam Decks though.
It's okay to be wrong.
Now I do know that the shoulder buttons are ass on the Game Boy Advance.
SP definitely had better.
Yeah, but the SP also is very unergonomic too.
I actually prefer the SP.
Your hands are bigger than mine. How the heck could that be the case?
I can use a pencil and it's smaller than a Game Boy Advance. Just because something's small doesn't mean I can't use it.
I'm not saying that, I'm just going like, oof. Because that feels cramped to me.
I don't know, I think because the Game Boy Advance just has less controls, it doesn't bother me. On something like the classic 3DS, it bothers me because the 3DS has more controls. Because it has the stick and the D-pad and twice as many face buttons. Yeah, it has a stick and 2 extra buttons, so like that is cramped to me. But because the GBA just had so few buttons in general, it just doesn't bother me.
Fair enough, I guess. I could probably use either if I wanted.
I like the SP because it came with a backlight. And it was just easier to, like, put in my pocket, I felt.
Fair. The Game Boy
Like, I know you
Micro
can
is,
get
like, crazy, though.
I know you can get a Game Boy Advance with a backlight, like a classic Game Boy Advance with a backlight now, but... Why is there a fucking hangout tree in your game?
That looks more like constipated pain.
Why is there, like, a Maid Cafe-esque tree in your game?
I don't know. Oh, they just got blown up from the past. But yeah, maybe I'll look at Like a Dragon someday. It's just I've got so many games I've been playing. I'm currently playing this, Dragon Quest VII, and Persona 5 Royal.
And then Mass Effect.
Well, I already finished a Mass Effect game. I'm gonna go back to that later. Might be after I finish this one. I don't know. Game Boy games don't typically have the longest runtime. Relatively speaking. Ah, okay. Hello, Lutheran. How are you? Are you hucking things at me again? Ah. Abuse.
What's the Yakuza spin-off where you play as, like, a detective? I know that exists.
No idea.
Last Judgment or something like that?
Huh? What's this?
It's just called
You just want me to
Judgment.
taste it or something? Think about too much oregano or whatever it is.
Yeah, it is Judgment.
I'd recommend a little bit of salt and maybe some garlic. Okay? Capra, could you put it away in one of those plastic containers for me? I already ate recently. I don't want to overdo it. Ember wanted me to check some food they made. Judgment? Why Judgment? Yakuza 0?
No, I was talking about the spin-off to Yakuza where you play as a detective, and that game is called Judgment. Like, just Judgment. It doesn't even have Yakuza in the title, but it's in the Yakuza universe.
Now, is this the same kind of visual novel thing as the Phoenix Wright games?
No, it plays like a Yakuza game.
Interesting.
But you're a detective instead of a, you know, gangster. And apparently, according to Deakus, that game was killed by a talent agency.
It was killed by a what? Television series?
Talent agency. Probably poached a bunch of people.
Oh.
Oh, you know what game I just realized I want to get a remake, and
What?
I know a lot of people would love it, and it was rumored, and everyone got excited, and then it wasn't a thing.
What's that?
Chrono Trigger.
It could use it. The newest
I
version
honestly-
doesn't even play as fast because it's on PlayStation. It just has cinematics.
The newest version is actually the iOS port.
Ah.
Yeah, there's the iOS. There was the DS port, then there was the iOS port.
Technically,
And the iOS port is actually the one that's on PC. It's weird.
Technically, the funny thing is, if I wanted to play one of the mobile versions of any of those games, I could just connect an OTG cable to my PC and play it that way.
One thing that I also think would be really cool. So Akira Toriyama worked on three different RPGs. He worked on the Dragon Quest series. We'll just call that a game. He also worked on Blue Dragon, and he worked on Chrono Trigger. One anime artist I would love to see work on an RPG, and it doesn't even have to be him directly, it could be his interns, because he actually has people who can do his art style. Ichiro Oda.
What's
Because
Oda
the One
do?
Piece arts,
Oh, him.
he does One Piece. I actually think the One Piece art style is really cool, and I'd like to see a non-One Piece RPG with his art style. But he's busy making One Piece. I think, honestly, he could get interns to do a lot of it, but...
Good to hear, Lutheran. And, yeah, I can see Chrono Trigger remakes being a touchy subject.
There was a rumor that it was going to be at the last Nintendo Direct, and the source was pretty reputable, but it ended up being Super Mario RPG. And so I was like, how can you disappoint me and delight me at the same time? You fucking... Jeez. Because I am so excited for a Super Mario RPG remake. Because the game's so fucking good. And the remake looks really good. But also, I really want a Chrono Trigger remake.
Well, at least we're getting a Persona 3 remake. Granted, they're taking out half the content.
Which version are they basing it on?
They're basing it off the original, not
Oh, so
FES.
no festival or portable.
Yep, no festival or portable content. Why couldn't they just make it the definitive version?
Yeah, I'd say that I think the best idea would have been to take festival and then make it so you can choose a male or female protagonist, and then also had like a music swap option for the three battle themes from the three versions. Because I think the base version of Mass Destruction is better. I don't like the FES remix. And I also really, really like the portable battle thing, which is completely different and has a very different vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's a lot more horns, and like it's got like this like big band feel as opposed to like rap.
Ah. Also, as far as that $60 price tag goes, keep in mind they are building it up from the ground up, essentially, again.
What?
Yeah, this is like a full remake. This isn't just like a remaster. I'm fine with paying $60 for that.
At least it's not 70. They're probably going to do that exact thing, Dekus. We know this. It's Atlas.
I don't think it'd be its own game. I think Festival would probably be a DLC.
They don't do that, though.
I'm heading to bed.
They might now.
I'm tired.
So here's what Atlas typically does with Persona. And they've done this for the past 3 games. They have the original release, then they release another version with extra content. They do this every
I don't think they would do
time.
that with a remake, is the reason I say.
I wouldn't put it past them, but I hope not.
I mean, Atlas are, okay, I can't say the word. But Atlas is a bunch of CNX Tuesdays. So... I don't like Atlas. I will admit, as a company, they are really shitty. Look into what they did to FromSoft and shit like that. Like, they're just a Garbo company. I've begrudgingly put up with them because I like Persona 4 and 5 a lot. But
Despite their flaws.
despite their flaws,
Like, here's the
I
thing.
don't like 3. I will say Persona 3 was not for me, but
We'll see. Maybe the new version might help with that, but we'll have to see. Then again,
I want controllable party members, but even then, I really didn't like the narrative of Persona 3.
Yeah, I'm wondering how they can reapproach it, because they said they want to go over it and try to redo it a bit. That they're probably going to be tweaking some of that.
So my main issue with Persona 3 is that you are pushed into a situation where all of a sudden somebody's like, oh, here, have a magic gun that gives you a fucking Pokemon. And then from there, nobody tells you fucking anything. They just expect you to like, oh yeah, there's a place called Tartarus and you have to go there with us and do things for no fucking reason. They don't explain shit. Everyone else knows way more than you. You are completely out of the loop. And for absolutely no reason, they just don't tell you shit. And then later on, they'll like slip you tidbits of info where it's clear they should have just told you that right away. It got so infuriating that you get drip-fed like information. You have no agency in that game at all. You just do what people tell you to do, and then you get to go further in the game. That, like, the amount of grinding, the fact you couldn't control your party members was annoying, but like the narrative lost me. I was just like, holy fuck, I feel like I don't get to decide anything.
Yeah.
Like, I have so many decisions. I make decisions constantly in this game, and none of them fucking matter.
Now, one of the other things about Persona 3, I did find something very amusing with with not being able to control my party members.
Yeah?
It really helped sell how stupid Junpei was.
Yeah.
The man was an idiot. Both his AI and the character is written.
I thought I hated Persona games.
You just played the wrong one.
And then I played Persona 5, and I loved it. And I haven't beaten Persona 5 because it's an Alice game. But I also played Persona 4, and I loved what I played of Persona 4, and I really want to pick those games back up and finish them. But the big difference I felt is that you had agency in those games. You weren't just stumbling into a situation halfway through the story and then getting drip-fed information while just following orders. You were there at like the inciting incident and you knew what was going on. Anything that you didn't know, your group didn't know. It wasn't that the people in your party were just like withholding vital information for no fucking reason.
Yeah. Like, let's be honest, the story of... as it's... like, I'm pretty sure that overall, when I know more about it, the story of Persona 3 is decent. However, the way it's portrayed and told to you needs work.
Yeah, it's if you have to get, like, fucking 20
it's the Dark
hours
Souls
into
effect.
the game... If you have to get 20 hours into a game to actually, like, get to a part of the story that's interesting... Like, why do you demand 20 hours of misery from me before I'm allowed to enjoy your game? Like, that's crazy to me.
Like, I don't have a problem going over the story. Like I remember one of the things is I didn't really understand these games as much as a kid. But when I think about it, Oracle of Ages has the better story of the two. It basically going with how, Varen basically was trying to use the power to go back in time and just absolutely screw with everything.
Tigas, I have a question. Do you enjoy JoJo's? Because specifically, Persona 4 is heavily inspired by one of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stories. Like, uses, like, basically the same setup to tell a different story. And that JoJo part is the fourth one. It's called Diamond is Unbreakable. It has a very similar setup of sleepy Japanese town, has a supernatural serial killer. A bunch of teenagers have to summon their inner selves as fighters in order to uncover a serial killer that the police could never hope to catch.
Well, as far as that goes, Dekus, just go ahead and watch it on your own terms then.
Yeah, like honestly, like I get like the. I hate the term ODD because it can be used so shittily, but human beings, if you tell them to do something, they don't want to do it. And the more you tell them to do it, the less they want to do it. So that's fair. Like, I didn't watch Death Note for a long time specifically because of that. But I feel like if you enjoy Persona 4, that's another piece of media that has a very similar kind of vibe to it.
That's fair, Deacus. It's not for everyone. T still wants to get me to watch One Piece, and I'm going like, God.
Hey, One Piece is, let's just say it's a whole boatload of friends you'll have for a long time.
You know, you just had to go with the most literal interpretation, didn't you?
Like, honestly, I love the Straw Hats. I do. Like, they're all flawed characters, and I like that they are flawed, except for Sanji being a weird pervert. That is, like, the only thing I don't like.
Well, isn't it kind of a rule that every piece of anime or manga has to have, like, the equivalent of a Master Roshi?
Yeah, it was
An
was a
old
thing for
pervert.
just the late. Yeah, it's just a thing in anime that I generally don't like as a trope.
Yeah, the trope is the old wrinkly pervert, essentially.
But that's not Sanji.
He's just pervert.
Sanji is like this like debonair simp. Like, he's supposed to look like some suave debonair, but like women can smell his desperation from a mile away. So he doesn't actually get any. So he's just like weird. He's like Brock from Pokemon, like times 20, and I don't like it.
You know, I wish they'd used the phrase lover instead of boyfriend, because that would have probably fit the game better. Oh god, I'm critiquing word choice in games now.
Like, fair if you don't enjoy JoJo. Like, not every anime is for everyone. Like, there are popular animes that I just don't enjoy. Like, I know that other people find a lot of joy in them, and they like them. Like, I just can't get into Attack on Titan. I just really can't. But I know other people love it, so... fair too.
Fucking snack!
As long as an anime isn't just, like, overtly pushing really harmful shit, I'm usually pretty fine with it.
What, you mean like lollies? Get rid of them. All of them.
Ugh.
Yuck.
I'm talking, like... Realist Hero? Realist Hero was one of the best anime that I'd ever watched for the first season, and then season 2 took it out back and shot it.
Yeah, I don't want to go over why. I know exactly why you say it got shot in the head. I just don't want to discuss it.
Yeah, without going into the discussion of it, season 1 is really good. It's an isekai, and that's where you might roll your eyes. The main character was a civics student who had just graduated college and then ended up in like some fantasy kingdom. And they're like, okay, we need to ship you away so you can be trained to fight the Demon King. And the guy's like, well, why do you have to send somebody to fight the Demon King? They're like, well, this is how we're paying the Empire because we owe them a bunch of money. And he's like, well, why don't you just let me look at all of your books and balance your state assets?
You know what the worst part is? Most
He
of us could
does
probably
it.
do that.
He fucking does it. He literally saves the kingdom with nothing but civics. And it's really clever. It's an isekai where he's not, like, the main character isn't just constantly covered in women. They don't get some powerful magic ability that makes them the most powerful person in the world. You know, it's not like a nerd power fantasy. It's just a guy who's really good at civics. Applying civics to a fantasy world. It's funny. I do very much like it.
Yeah. It's just too bad they
It's-
kind of flushed it.
Season 2, they give him a harem. And
He doesn't
gets
care.
a super powerful magical ability. Like, he had a really, like, his magical ability was to, like, control pens so that he could, like, write multiple forms at once. Like, he could do, like, 8 people's worth of paperwork simultaneously. And they're like, well, now he has the ability to, like, create, like, constructs that can fight with the might of 10 men. It's like, okay, well, no, that's stupid.
That's just like, stick with your theme. You had a good thing going.
And then they had an episode where, let's just say they tried to put a positive spin on some very fucked up topics in
Let's
a way
leave it
that's
at
just
that, yeah.
disrespectful.
It was
And I
awful.
won't get into it. It sucks.
Sleepy Princess in the Demon's Castle. Super Demon Furry Bait.
Ooh.
And a Murdering Princess.
Okay, I'm gonna give a very contentious anime opinion right now. The hottest furry in all of anime is Zod the Immortal from Berserk, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
The Immortal?
Zod the Immortal.
Who he?
He's like a giant manticore man. I say he's basically a giant like manticore dude. And you know, I have a preference. You know my type.
Zod the Immortal.
Yeah.
Let's see.
His human form's kind of gross, but he turns into a big hot manticore man.
Oh,
I'm
and he
looking
goes... That looks like Behemoth, actually.
Yeah, he kind of does. Although I think Berserk came Zod is very early in Berserk, so I'm pretty sure this came out before like most of the Final Fantasy versions of Behemoth. I'd actually say Ifrit looks a lot like him though, especially the Ifrit from Final Fantasy X.
Let's be honest, people probably made porn of that immediately.
Oh god. I'm just saying there's some very good stuff of Zod the Immortal, and I won't say what that stuff is, and I will shut the fuck up now. Best furry bait. Best furry bait of all time.
I'm about to be hit on by a tree.
Else is really good anime. Oh, the one isekai I can think of that has been made in the past few years that's actually good. It's called Ascension of a Bookworm. It's about a librarian who dies, and she reincarnates as a peasant child in a fantasy world. And this is a low fantasy world for the most part, as in, like, peasants are pretty analogous to medieval peasants. So, the odds of her ever touching a book are slim to none, because books are made with vellum. Because wood block printing and stuff like that has not been invented yet. Yeah, you see Bookworm. Oh my god, Ascension of Bookworm is... The only way I could put it is it's like the Dr. Stone isekai about making books. And I love it. I love it so much. It had an opportunity to be like creepy as well, and it didn't. Which I'm really appreciative of, because there's a lot of anime where watching anime is a fucking minefield nowadays.
But because there's always going to be some very cringe thing.
Yeah, I've had so many anime where I watch them and they just get ruined. Again, like Realist Hero. Season 1 of Realist Hero is great, Season 2 can die in a fire.
Like, why do they seem hellbent on ruining it? Is it because they're trying to appeal to hormonal idiots or something?
Odd. It's like the main character did not need a harem. Like, that just ruins it. One of the other ones that got really ruined was Cautious Hero. It's about a guy who over-prepares for literally everything. Like, he has to go fight the Demon King, but it's quite literal. He's overly cautious. So he'll do... Like, he finds out that he's in a room where time doesn't pass. So he literally does push-ups for, like, 30 years. So he can get swole enough to fight the Demon King because he's min-maxing. And one of the best things about it was that he had literally no romantic interest. Like, if a girl hit on him, he was like, fucking stop. I need to fight the Demon King. I want to fight the Demon King and go home. I have literally no interest in any Scooterly pooping or anything. Like, that was funny that they subverted the trope by having him be like, yeah, I'm completely uninterested. Please stop flirting with me. And in the final 2 episodes, you find out that he's actually a reincarnation of a previous hero who was in love with, like, the goddess, and, like, the 2 of them are destined lovers, and it fucking goes down the shitter in 2 episodes. Ugh, I hate it so much.
Like, stick with what was good. Don't ruin it, people. And then you have the ones that decide we're going to have characters that people and then there's the cases where just the fans ruin things.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hunter x Hunter is a great example of amazing show. Don't interact with the fandom. Just don't.
They're disgusting.
They're creepy. They're disgusting. They're creepy. I will not interact with the Hunter x Hunter fandom. I love Hunter x Hunter. But I won't interact with the fandom. Holy crap.
Nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope. Nope. Nope. Nope. Yeah, SAO did actually have a decent start, and then you realize that it's just another nerd power. It's like most Spider-Man pieces of media. There's so many Spider-Man stories that are literally just nerd gets powers, everyone likes him, every girl wants him. And that's the entire thing. And then you've got ones that are better, of course, you know. Like, the new Spider-Man movies are fucking incredible. And then, of course, like, the Sam Raimi movies and the comics that they're based on were good. Ultimate Spider-Man was good. Like, there's good Spider-Man media, but so much of it is just nerd power fantasy. Nerd gets power, everybody likes them, he gets girlfriends. Plural.
Now, I did hear that there's a story that's apparently... It's not an anime, it's a JRPG that I bought on a whim. Radiant Historia is supposedly about an older character that actually ends up getting dragged into a lot more than he bargained for, or is wanting to deal with as he's getting older.
One movie I really want to watch, it's an animated film from the 70s by a smaller studio, which is huge, because animation was so fucking expensive. It's called Flight of Dragons. It's about a guy, this nerdy dude who ends up in a fantasy world, except he's a dragon. And has no idea how to be a dragon.
Isn't there Dragon Goes House Hunting as well, speaking of dragons?
Yes, I love that anime so much, I want another season. I really want another season of that show. Best way to describe it is, what if the weakest dragon in Dragon Quest needed to find a home to live in, and the only real estate agent who could help him is, like, the Demon King.
Also,
It's so good, I love it.
I can't believe I remember it. I remember Flight of Dragons. It had the blimp dragons.
Yeah.
They had to get nice and gassy to fly around.
Yeah, I need to see Flight of Dragons. It's from a smaller studio, and it's from the 70s, and, like, I really prize that older animation, specifically because of how expensive it was and how rare it was as a result. Things like Bakshi's Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, like, those were expensive at the time to make, for even just, like, basic animation.
Yeah, I remember the Hobbit
fucking
animated one.
incredible. The only people who would make animations back then were insanely passionate people, and it shows in the work, where a lot of the animation back then is just really well done.
Yeah, Disney was usually the one who had the market for that cornered.
You have to admit, Disney's an evil company, but their animators were definitely passionate back in the day. They were very passionate people.
Not to mention, some of the best animated films that I love the most are actually from them. like Atlantis or Treasure Planet.
Like, if I think about incredible animation, I do think of, like, Disney Animation Studios, the classic Disney Animation Studios, and Ghibli. Like, when I think of, like, major companies for that. Ghibli is in a weird position now where Hayao Miyazaki is retiring. His son Goro has no interest in being a director, and it shows because they've made him be a director multiple times.
Like, here's the thing. Trying to force your kid to follow in a path that's behind you when they have no interest just doesn't work.
I need to get this out into the world. Do you know what Goro Miyazaki's passion is?
What?
Architecture. He wants to be a landscape architect for public parks and public works. He wants to design parks. Okay, just let him. He doesn't want to make movies. He wants to make beautiful green spaces for people to enjoy. Let him do what he's passionate about.
You know,
It really showed in The Earwig and the Witch. That movie fucking sucked.
what about Isao Takahata? Wasn't he the other director for things like Ghibli?
I don't know. I actually don't recognize that name. I have to look them up.
Do you think he's the one who did Pompoko? It wasn't Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah, Miyazaki might keep working till he dies, but
The old
honestly,
codger will.
I don't think he should. I don't think he should. I think that this Japanese idea of continuing to just pump stuff out until you die is really toxic. Like, just let them enjoy retirement. You know, it's like that with, I'm really sad that the creator of Berserk kept going until he died. Like, it's sad. Like, he should have been able to finish that and then, you know, retire. You know, enjoy his final years.
Some of them are married to their work in a way. Now,
Yeah,
depending on the
true.
circumstances, if they're being forced into it, that's bad. If it's something that they're just continuing to do because they love it, let them do it.
You know what I think is really funny, though? So, do you know who the creator of Sailor Moon is married to?
What?
The creator of Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And she literally says that she wanted to marry a man who was insanely creative but kind of hopeless. And
Oh,
really-
no.
that really does describe Togashi.
That is painfully on the nose, though, isn't it?
It is so on the nose.
That is mean.
Togashi really needs to learn to, like, take breaks, because he does this thing where he'll pump out a few chapters of Hunter x Hunter, get sick, have to take a break. He just needs to take a break for like 2 years and then come back to it. Like, he just has this huge issue where he overworks himself. And then
That's a problem with Japan as a whole.
recovers. Yeah, it's just like, we don't know if he'll ever finish Hunter x Hunter because he's burning himself out so often that he's not able to get much work done.
Like,
when he's not burned out.
the Japanese work ethic was caused largely by a lot of the older generation working as much as they possibly could during an upswing in economics. And they're taking it out on the next generation, expecting them to do the same, and it's just toxic. You have a good one, Dekus.
If Togashi announced tomorrow that he's retiring and he won't finish Hunter x Hunter, I'd be sad, but I'd accept it, because honestly, if the guy wants to retire, he should fucking retire. You know?
Yeah. No! Fuck! I did it wrong. That's not how I save in this game.
Did you just lose all that progress?
Yes!
Are you back at the start of the game?
I didn't remember how to access the save menu. I forgot that it's just in the start, and this time when I tried to do it like I would with Link's Awakening, and that didn't end well. Instead, it just rebooted the game. Why was there a hotkey for that? Oh well, I'll just skip everything this time. That sucked balls. Damn it. It's not the dumbest thing I've done when playing on stream, though. You know what would be good? A Gamecube to Super Nintendo adapter for this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Lorgans.
Wah?
There you go.
Fuck you, Foxer! I knew you were gonna do that, you little shit. God damn it.
Yep. Also had to give you the tactical misspelling.
Er? It was then that he knew he fucked up. Advance the text.
Might have to grab my Switch and play more Tears of the Kingdom. It's plugged in the other room because it's playing in the living room.
It is really nice, though, playing on an actual system with more powerful hardware than the Switch. They really need to make the Switch 2 backwards compatible, though. I won't accept anything else.
Yeah, I honestly... Okay, I saw the dumbest fucking argument recently. They said, if they make a Switch 2, everyone will just think it's an accessory for the Switch. So they won't make a Switch 2.
No.
Fun fact, did you know that polls actually showed basically nobody thought that the Wii U was an accessory for the Wii? That's actually a common misconception. Basically nobody thought that. Like, it's an insignificant number of people thought that it was a peripheral for the Wii.
Less than a rounding error.
Yeah, it was a very tiny amount of people. Not enough to have made the console fail the level that it did. The reason why the Wii U failed was the actual good version of the console, the one that had enough internal storage to actually do something, was quite pricey because the controllers were very expensive.
And that was a mistake. Here's the thing. They were going to take losses on it anyway. Why not just eat it a little bit more and give people what they need to actually enjoy it?
And also the library sucked because the dev kit was terrible, and the game quality of Nintendo at the time went down. Like, I will say there's good games on the Wii U, and I'm glad that I own those games on the Wii U, but the library is nowhere near as good as any other Nintendo console. I don't think Nintendo has made a console with a worse library than the Wii U. Even the N64, which did have some problems with its library.
Virtual Boy.
I consider that to be one of their handhelds.
And also, I guess that's just a little bit too easy. Is that it?
Yeah. I don't think... I think the only Nintendo, like, home console that had a worse library was the Nintendo 2-in-1, which was essentially a Pong machine that they made before the NES.
A pawn machine?
Pong. They made a Pong clone called the Nintendo 2-in-1. It was a Japan-only thing, and it was before the NES came out by a few years. Yeah, they had like a home console. It didn't take cartridges. It had like Pong and like a slightly modified version of Pong, and you could like flip between them with a switch, if I remember correctly. And this was during like the Atari era. Yeah, it was not widely sold. It's actually pretty rare nowadays. One sec.
By the way, what's a good place to buy bulk candy? Like, maybe at wholesale price.
No idea.
Because it'd be nice to actually pick up the ones I like. Like that?
Something else? Oh, sorry. I was thinking of a different product. Okay, the name of the product I'm talking about is called the Nintendo TV Game 6 Color, or sorry, the Color TV Game 6. Yes, it was. They had to advertise that this was for the Color TV. But yeah, the Nintendo Color TV Game 6 is probably the only console that they ever made with a worse library. It is abysmally bad.
Wow.
We didn't get an exclusive Zelda game that generation. We got Breath of the Wild, which has a better version on Switch. What did we get? We didn't get an Animal Crossing game?
You did, but you're not gonna want to think about it.
Okay, that game's a spin-off. We didn't get a mainline Animal Crossing game. We also didn't get a Mario 3D platformer. We got a 2.5D like platformer. Like, not that the 3D, like 3D World and 3D Land are bad, but they're definitely not the same style of game as like Odyssey. It's like we didn't get a Mario 3D platformer. We didn't get a Zelda exclusive. We didn't get, like, what did we actually get? We got a Mario Kart, a Smash Bros, a Pikmin.
Pikmin was really good on it, from what I heard.
We got a Kirby game, I guess. Like, it's such a thin library, and a majority of the games that were actually worth playing on the console have been ported to Switch.
A lot of them, yeah. Granted,
we got Lego City Undercover.
I wish they would have stopped fucking us over as far as, like, not... like, why did they give up on the Virtual Console entirely?
Money. They wanted games as a service, and so they were like, well, the cheapest way to do this is to just take games we already own and then release them as a service.
And you know how most of Nintendo fans responded?
Eating it?
Yar har fiddle-dee-dee.
Oh, I know most Nintendo fans did end up buying the Switch Online Pass, honestly.
I didn't get the upgrade.
Yeah, the upgrade, you don't need the upgrade to play all the games, though.
Some of them, yeah.
Some of them you do, yeah. Like the Game Boy Advance and like Genesis and N64, but...
Without it,
still
the
play
library's
the
a pittance.
NES and SNES games.
Like,
I'm gonna go over and... Sorry.
Nintendo really just has been taking the piss lately, though.
I'm gonna go over and look at my Wii U like the Wii U portion of my shelf, and tell you if there's anything like on there that's like still locked to the system that is actually worth playing.
I got a good one. Wind Waker HD. Might as well just use CMU, though. Yummy mint chocolate. A tree hath died. Wow. Ba 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 ba. Alright, here we go. My stomach being weird. Ba-bum. The Black Tower.
I'm back.
Wow.
I went and I looked. I found one game,
What's that?
Xenoblade X. I think Xenoblade X is a terrible game. Everything else either has a newer game that is essentially the same thing, but better, or was actually just directly ported. Like Mario Kart 8. You know, Mario Kart 8 is on Switch. Splatoon. The new Splatoon games are kind of just exactly the same thing, but with more stuff. Like, the sequels don't really actually substantially change much. And those are available on Switch. Like,
I haven't been able to
Bayonetta
convince
2.
myself to play that.
Bayonetta 2, you can get that on Switch as well. I think I figured out why. The 3DS was actually pretty powerful for a handheld. And the Wii U was actually pretty weak for a console. And it just ended up that a majority of the Nintendo games worth playing at that time were on 3DS, not Wii U.
The 3DS was an absolutely stunning console. Same with the entire DS family was.
I will say I do believe the 3DS is the best handheld, like mono handheld they ever put out.
Handheld exclusive, let's say that.
Yeah.
I still have mine, but I never use it.
Hey, Mikey, welcome to stream.
I think the only criticism I have of the 3DS is the thumbsticks, like the circle pad was
Could be better.
It didn't stand up to abuse. Mine broke. I played Smash, and you know, when it comes to a fighting game like that, you do have to, you know, use the stick pretty hard. So.
You said. It's been a while since I've played this one here, though. I don't remember how far I got.
One thing I was actually really sad about was the first iteration of the DS, or sorry, the 3DS XL came
what I
in
had.
like a really nice powder pink color. The new
Oh.
3DS didn't come in that color, even at launch.
Yeah, mine's the.
You know what the funny thing is? Part of me wants to collect all the different versions of the DS.
I had the very original one, but back in like the late 2000s. And,
The trapezoid.
like the big silver original DS.
That's what I mean. It looks
Oh.
kind of funky. It's weird and lumpy.
It looks like the front of a Y-wing.
But we were me and my mom, stepdad, and stepbrother were at the train station in Philadelphia. We were back in like 2008, and we were going down to Florida to visit my aunt and my grandma back when they both used to live down there. And I had my DS and my
Thanks for the follow, Felix.
my my carrying case that had all my DS games and Game Boy Advance games and stuff in it. I lost all of that at the train station.
Aww.
And for some reason, I don't know why, but I swore that my stepbrother had hid it from me so that I would find it. I don't know why. I was mentally blaming him for that. But
Oh, was he a little shit?
back when we were kids, he tended to be a little bit of a troll type. We never had a bad relationship with each other, but there were times where like I swore that he would have like done something to sabotage whatever. But I don't know.
That's a bit much there, though.
Yeah. No proof or anything. But anyway, so yeah, we were going on the elevator to go down to the train track, and I'm sitting here freaking the fuck out because it's like I fucking lost my DS and all of my other games. And I was hoping that when we got back from that vacation, I went to the Lost and Found area at the train station. They didn't have it. And then the next thing that I did was I got a DS Lite. And, I was gonna, start back up with that. And then I was like, I can't do this. There's just too many games that I lost. I just lost my motivation. It sucked. Oh man, that also reminds me, did anyone ever put like skins on their DSs?
I've seen him.
Yeah, usually the skins of my victims.
I forgot about that shit. Oh my god, like I had
That's
like
an Ahmed's emote. Cute.
I had like one of those like I think it was like a flame skin or something.
One of the
Now-
ones.
No, never mind.
One of the ones I wanted to pick one up because I wanted to eventually get it modded. But one of the ones I was looking at had like a Darth Vader one, but I ended up settling on a different one.
Okay.
I'm going to need to save up some cash to essentially get a capture card modded into it.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. I think I had a skin for my Gamecube too. I'm not positive. I feel like my DS wasn't the only thing I had a skin for.
So, back in the day, when the 3DS came out, I didn't want to get one because I'd played my friend's 3DS and the controls were so cramped with how small it was, so I knew I needed a 3DS XL, which wasn't out in North America yet. It was Japan only at the time. So I waited for one to come out, and like a week after it came out, I went to EB Games to buy one.
EBDB.
And I said what I wanted, and the guy there is like, ooh, like, he like sucked his breath through his teeth. He's like, ooh, we got one, but we only got pink, and he like pulled out pink, and I just looked him dead in the eye, and I didn't say anything as articulate as this, but my intention was essentially, bitch, that's a selling point. You got pink? Damn, I was expecting silver, black, or white.
You know what the funny thing is? I got a pink DS Lite when I picked up my first DS.
Nothing wrong with pink.
Yeah, DS Lite was pink. Coral pink.
The fact that we gender colors is really fucking weird.
Yeah, but you know what the funny thing is? Nobody batted an eye about it at school. And this was back when I was in high school.
Isn't it kind of weird that we color code our baby's clothing so that strangers will know what genitals they have? It's just fucking weird, okay?
Yeah, it is weird. I think Felix likes pink ones too. Felix Bolt.
I think that the tree also thinks it's weird.
Yeah, we're getting these weird emoticon faces on this tree.
I just don't know why it has, like, weird, like, yaoi face.
Yeah, I was kind of took back a little bit when I first played this.
Thanks, I hate it.
No problem.
Alright, I'm back where I was.
Okay, now do it again.
Fuck! God damn it!
Did you do it again?
Yes. God damn it. I hate how it's just like Kapora Jabor. Defaults to yes.
Oh, I meant as in saving.
no, I
except
didn't.
not
I've
saving.
already saved.
Good.
Fuck off, tree. Let me go on my adventure. I've already heard this.
You know, if I actually had the money, one thing I'm considering doing is getting my Joy-Cons updated with Hall Effect joysticks. And then also getting the shells replaced with, clear purple ones, similar to the, forget the name of the line Nintendo had for the Game Boy Advance and, sorry, not Game Boy, the Game Boy Color and N64 where they were candy colors.
Yeah. That's
What was
pretty
that called again?
fantastic.
Yeah, I want to get Funtastic Joy-Cons in purple. Or green. Let's be legit. Nintendo has some weird ideas, and we love them for it, but we also hate them for it.
It's one of the things I always loved about Nintendo is a lot of their flagship titles having like really fucking weird enemy designs and stuff like in Kirby or whatever. Like you would just say to yourself, what the fuck were they smoking when they came up with this design? And that's what I loved about it. I constantly was thinking like that. Like, fucking drug addict shit.
That's how I feel with, Earthbound.
Earthbound especially, god.
Yeah. Earthbound is the only JRPG I've ever played where you fight sentient fire hydrants.
Yeah.
Surprising that was a Persona.
Hello, you sneaky Durgan. Welcome. Well, I guess... No. I get it now. I know why I didn't know he came in. It's like a purple orc. You never see them.
Hey, I am a sneaky Durg. I am a rogue.
I'll be right back.
Like, Boulder's guys just made me realize how bad my luck is.
Yeah, I hate that, Felix. Yeah, this is gonna be confusing if the other Felix comes in at the same time.
That's great when you have a 75% chance to hit and you miss 7 times in a row.
Nice job.
That's what 75% feels like, yes. I hate my luck. I hate it a lot.
La 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 la
His art
la
style
la
just
la.
makes me... His art style just makes me think of, Link's Awakening. Is this Link's Awakening?
Not sure, Felix.
I don't remember Link's Awakening being this colorful.
No, this is Oracle's.
They're a Vulpix, though.
They look similar.
Felix's first one.
I had to replay Link's Awakening. Like the original.
I have the, I still have the one for Switch that my stepbrother lent me a couple of
The Switch ones works just fine.
I really like the aesthetic of it.
Personally, I prefer the aesthetic of the original, but that's just me.
I just like it looks like little dollies or something like.
I think it's cute. I do think the original art style fits the game better. What a game, though. I actually don't think I ever beat it, though. I got stuck on one dungeon, made a lot of progress, and then a bug happened on the ROM that made me lose 2 dungeons worth of progress. And I lost
shit.
all motivation to play.
That almost.
I fell into all.
That reminds me of a time something similar happened when I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on my Switch, and I had a soft lock happen in the game, and I lost pretty much the same amount of hours of progress that I made, and I had to like redo the quests and shit that I was doing before. It made me flake. I had a fucking heart attack. I was like, no.
That's the kind of thing that just makes
No, what?
That
You lose. I lost like 2 dungeons worth of progress in Link's Awakening. That's when we stopped playing it.
Thankfully, all I did was like a couple of side quests and things like that. It wasn't too terrible to redo it again, but it's the fact that the game had like I like lost a couple of hours worth of progress that I had to redo because of that soft lock.
Yeah. People are having issues like that right now with Baldur's Gate 3 because of the bug that makes you unable to save.
And it's like,
By the way, if you like those kind of tactical games, you might like Avernum. But it's considerably more retro and old.
I'm apparently bad at tactics game because 90% does not mean 90% to me.
I can't. I'm not really good at that kind of stuff, I don't think.
And now we begin the first dungeon of this game.
Yeah.
The Spirit's Grave.
Fun.
One of the things about this one is that this one was more puzzle-oriented, whereas the other one was meant to be more action.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why I went with this one when I emulated it a little bit ago.
Combat's never been the strong suit of Zelda games.
I don't mind that. One of the things I always loved about the Zelda games was the puzzle adventure
I like the
aspect.
puzzles and the items.
I had a dumb idea. What if Nintendo did one of those things where it lets another company have access to the IP? They do that for Zelda, but then they ended up letting FromSoft touch it.
I'm not familiar with that.
FromSoft is
No.
the maker of Dark Souls.
The 3D games,
Oh,
I'd say, are
okay.
more combat oriented. The 2D games are more puzzle oriented. This is because two-dimensional has more limitations than we worked around.
But yeah, I love the new open world Zelda stuff, but like I still always have a soft spot, you know, in my heart for the old school traditional dungeon.
We need the return of real dungeons, honestly.
Yeah, that.
Like, the dungeons they have had... I haven't gotten far enough in Tears of the Kingdom, but Breath of the Wild was very disappointing.
I think it was fun. I feel like you'll definitely enjoy the games a lot more though if you much prefer the action rather than the puzzles because there's very
That's
little puzzles.
kind of. I liked it for the atmosphere, but
That's a good atmosphere.
but I just
The
lack
game
of
is a
dungeon.
little too empty.
Also,
Yeah,
Kingdom is
exactly.
better for this.
fun thing, I
well-
had the actual strategy guide for this game. A physical one. But I don't have it anymore.
Breath of the Wild has this one problem of it's too empty. I got bored. I keep getting bored, like, just walking around. It makes you just want to beeline it towards the objective.
Yeah, I can
Here's the
understand.
thing that's better about this, but it's not perfect.
Oh, I need to make everyone bigger.
Yeah, I understand that. Like I said, I liked it for the
It's time to
The
inflate
atmosphere.
everyone's images again.
but yeah, I like it for the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. But I do really miss the traditional linear adventure, like story-driven and dungeon crawling. That's kind of why I was replaying Wind Waker recently and beat it again, because I was like, I was yearning for that, traditional Zelda again.
Wind Waker would have been one of the other ones I could have done.
Wind Waker, I would probably enjoy a lot more if it wasn't for the open sea.
Play
I love that
HD,
about it.
or play the randomizer, just don't randomize things.
I have played. I think I did play HD a bit. It's better about it. I still feel like there's too much empty space.
I've never played the HD. I've always done the original, but I like the C aspect of it actually. And I
HD has the swift sail.
So,
Makes you go really fast.
oh, okay. I was always the type of person too that would map out every single square of the fucking sea too.
I feel
That's
like
normal.
I feel like that game was definitely. It's like Breath of the Wild.
Wait, Santa Monica Studio? What's that?
Those games are much more oriented towards exploration. Just fine. I just got bored too
Yeah.
easily.
What is Santa Monica Studio? Wait, is that the one that does God of War? Why them? Oh no.
That'd be weird.
I just had a thought. You know how there was originally going to be like a cyberpunk theme to some of the Zelda game, to the original Zelda game? What if they did a sci-fi Zelda and made it an basically a semi-open world, except just over one big cyberpunk city that you have to go through and deal with?
It'll be interesting. I just got reminded. Starfinder just got announced that they're coming out with a 2E version of it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that because I like Pathfinder 2E's rule sets, but I really like Starfinder because it's just Pathfinder in space. Just not enough like D&D like I guess I don't know how to describe it. Not enough like D&D like sci-fi games. I'm excited.
Alright, so that's where the boss room is.
I mean, the neat part about Starfinder is that Pathfinder's content is entirely compatible with it.
Twilight Princess is cool, but not what I meant.
Twilight Princess, I like.
Actually, what do you think it would be like to have Zelda in a more modern context? Like, where they have the exact same tech level that we have right now.
Interesting. I think that's kind of what they were going for with, like, Disney and Breath of the Wild.
Nah, they weren't. It can't compare. Just imagine if they had it so that it was like the tech level of the fucking 80s. I think that would be funny.
I mean, the Sheikah are basically just highly advanced.
But can they make a toaster?
Probably. I love block puzzles. It's bread and butter
Isn't
in
it,
the 2D
isn't it
games.
satisfying? Yeah.
They're the bread and butter of the 2D games. 90% of the puzzles in these games are block puzzles. I'm not wrong.
You aren't. Oh, okay, I get what you mean by that. That would be cool.
What if there was like an RPG version, like a turn-based Zelda RPG?
Well, keep in mind, they'd let people do the Cadence of Hyrule game.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cadence of Hyrule.
So maybe that could happen.
I'm not familiar
Imagine
with that.
Zelda JRPG.
So,
Yeah.
Cadence Prince of Hyrule is, you know Crypt the Necrodancer?
Yes.
I know of it.
The Crypt of
It's
the
a crossover
Necromancer.
it's a crossover between the two games.
Oh.
And it's decent.
Honestly, it's pretty good. I like it.
I know I watched someone stream on Discord a couple of days ago over. What the hell?
My issue. Twilight Princess has one issue I have with a lot of Zelda games. Twilight Princess is mainly just a really big contributor to it. In Twilight Princess, there's quite a few dungeons where you get an item and you never use it outside of the dungeon.
Oh, I hate that.
Dominion Rod. The Dominion Rod.
I hate when games do that.
Well, I almost died.
There's a lot of Zelda games where like some of the items have like zero combat purpose and they don't do anything outside of the dungeon you get them in, and it feels bad.
Right.
Twilight Princess is just the one that comes to mind because it has the Dominion Rod.
Or the
And
ones
the
that.
spinner.
Or
Well, the
ones...
spinner is used a bit more.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the spinner.
And love the ball and Che was so.
Oh, that was a fucking thing, man. Yeah.
I used that whenever I could.
I never used it in combat because I'm bad at it, but it looks so fun. It
Or
was like,
like-
they really just give me a ball and chain.
Or like when they give you an upgraded version of something like in Wind Waker, how you go from the grapple hook to the hook shot, and it's just like, well, might as well just use the hook shot.
I think that was originally in Skyward Sword. People just don't like to acknowledge it.
Maybe I don't remember.
Also, it's kind of funny that people were booing and hissing about the Wind Waker and its art style, but it's generally, as far as I know, overall better regarded than Twilight Princess.
That's because Wind Waker's style drew on people's mind. Twilight Princess gets a lot of flack for being quote-unquote edgy.
It is
yeah,
edgy.
I liked
Yeah,
it though.
I don't think that's a bad thing, but...
Yeah, it was just more dark, more mature, but I liked it.
It's going like, look at me, Mom, I'm mature.
Twilight Princess is one of my favorite Zelda games.
Oh yeah, same.
I like the style of it, it has a good story.
When I originally played it, back on hard console, I had it for the Gamecube, and then I played it for the Wii, but I couldn't get my Wii remote to cooperate with me at this one part of the game, so I just stopped playing after that.
The
I
Wii
never
mote
actually-
sucked so bad.
It was the part where you have to get past the Goron on it, where you're using your iron boots, and you have to keep like pressing A really fast. I mean, or the 2 button or whatever to like hold them back, but it never worked for me or whatever.
The
now,
sumo wrestling.
The fuck, Lysiris?
Bing bong, someone.
Skyward Sword, I think, has one of the best stories of any Zelda game so far. That's
I haven't
just a
completed
story.
that one yet.
It's a story-focused game.
When I was first playing that, I got like 3/4 of the way through the game, and then my Wii had an issue with the optical drive, and I couldn't play games anymore back in 2012, and I was never able to complete Skyward Sword because of that. And then
Yeah,
it
it's
came
fun.
out,
I do recommend Skyward Sword. But
and then I got
Maybe-
the HD one for Switch. So I haven't
I
played
feel
that
like Skyward Sword is the one that needs a remake probably the most because
It already got
Oh,
done.
That's what I was just saying. I have it for the Switch.
if they trim a lot of the fluff of it, I'm pretty sure people would like it a lot more.
It does
Yeah, I
have too
didn't
much
put-
fluff.
I haven't touched it in a while, but I wasn't too crazy over it. I just wanted to get it because I wanted to play it again because it's been like 10 years.
It is also one of my
But-
favorites. I think it's one of the more fun 3D Zeldas. It has a nice story.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It's just the controls just felt
Oof.
odd. I did always like using the motion control to hang Link's sword back like as I'm running, like I'm some kind of edgy mofo running around with my sword behind me like I'm about to slash at someone. I always like doing that with the Wii remote.
Shield also feels good to use. I don't know. Thank you
Up,
back on it.
Over, down, over.
Both Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword get too much flack.
feel that's how Wind Waker is too.
I think Ocarina of Time gets too much praise.
Ocarina of Time does get too much praise. It's overrated.
Majora's Mask is my favorite though.
Oh, Majora's Mask is great. I love it.
Like Majora's Mask, sorry, but it's I consider it pretty much better in every way.
I think it is honestly one of the. Personally, I think Majora's Mask is like one of the best 3D Zeldas, despite technically being a spin-off.
I just mainly liked it because of its dark tone and atmosphere and story.
I like the time. I know people hated the time limit. I personally really liked it.
I didn't mind it.
To be fair, I'm a sucker for time limit plots.
I didn't mind it. All I gotta say is just get good.
That's like the big thing I hear about Twilight Princess. I mean, Majora's Mask. They're like, I don't like the time limit. I'm like, bruh, you get ways to mitigate it. The game goes out of its ways to give you ways to
You
mitigate
can
it.
fucking slow down the time. You reverse.
And here's the thing. It's more than enough time to do the dungeon and then some.
Yeah. I can take my time and
It only gets pretty crazy when you're trying to do things like getting all the goodies, like all the stray fairies.
Yeah, or when you were like me, back when I 100%ed it, that was a nightmare. I don't recommend doing that.
There's one quest that takes an entire multiple
Cafe.
cycle. Yeah, cafe.
Or Kafi.
Like the story was cute, but
Oh, it was wonderful.
it took
But God,
until
getting it
the beginning
sucked.
till the end.
Yeah, no, so yeah, when I was shooting for 100%ing it, there were some things that were absolutely a nightmare, like some of those mini games that you played to get heart pieces. I was like legitimate.
I hated those. I also hated the ranch ones dealing with like Lone Ranch or whatever it is.
I think in terms of like, I only 100%ed the masks because I wanted to get all of them.
Oh yeah.
I think the masks were also cool. I like the form changing masks a lot.
Yeah.
My favorite was the Zora one.
But yeah, like those mini games, like the one of the ones that was in Clock Town where you had to shoot the Octoroks when there was time limit. That was good. Do not, because that was
no. The
nightmare.
worst was getting the wallet upgrades to get the nighttime mask.
Oh
that-
yeah.
Well, now lets you stay awake longer.
Yeah, I think I was using an online guide to get a lot of them.
Yeah. Freaking, that game is the one that cemented my fear of likes, because
Oh god, yeah, I don't
the
blame
beach,
you.
and you go to the beach, you're like, wow, this is fine. You'll
Yes,
get the occasional
yes.
like, you're like, that's annoying, and then you get to nighttime, you're getting like jump scares.
Yeah, dude. No, those things weren't fucking around. Oh.
Like, they did not want you going to the beach at night.
But there's a funny story. When I was a kid, and back in the early 2000s, and my cousin had Majora's Mask for Nintendo 64, and this was when I was like before I was into gaming or whatever. But I played it, and I didn't know how to play the game. I would let every time that day 3 would end, I would go and like hide in a fairy fountain or something, thinking that would save me from the moon. And I would start over again. Yeah, I was never able to play the game properly because I didn't know how to fucking
I
do
just
the
looked
time
up a
shit.
guy. I found ZeldaDungeon.net like a long time ago.
Yeah, I was only like 10 or 11 years old, and I didn't have a good grasp of gaming at the time, so I was just like thinking that I could hide from the moon.
Yeah, I think we were all kind of stupid as kids, weren't we?
Some things I said because I didn't know anything as a kid.
And it's funny going from that to 100%ing it like 20 years later. Oh, I say 100%, but I really only missed just one heart piece, which was at the very end of the game, and it was because I didn't know where it was. I just forgot to get it, so I still count it.
I think only thing I can really say bad about Majora's Mask is it kind of has like some of the weakest boss fights.
Yeah, there's only it's a very short game,
To be fair,
unfortunately.
like Majora is like one of my favorite final bosses.
I made that boss my bitch when I played the game on stream.
I didn't have too much issue with it.
I like fighting Majora mechanically. It is very fun to fight.
One of the most hated, one of the most nightmarish things for me to do in the game was at the Moon Garden when you have to use your Goron form and roll across that racetrack suspended
Oh
over
yeah,
the abyss.
that boss takes
Oh my god.
forever.
Boss.
And there's John.
There was like this little like track that was suspended over the abyss, and you had to use the Goron roll
That one.
ability.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the boss.
No.
I don't remember that.
It was to get a heart piece, but it took me so fucking long because it was like a maze of all of these really thin pathways.
Boss
and
time.
ramps. It was kind of like it was kind of like Super Monkey Ball, but Zelda style. That's how I can describe it. It was extremely difficult to get that heart piece. Yeah, man.
I am just not good at these.
Pumpkin, man.
Wait, I already killed it?
Fuck.
What?
It's a two-phase boss fight.
That reminded me of
It's supposed to be 3! Whatever.
It's also funny how in like some games like Wind Waker has some of the later bosses where like the Earth Temple boss was like insanely easy, and he was even more easier than the first boss of the game in Dragon Roost Island.
Oh. Here's this. This looks like a cup full of whipped cream.
It really does.
Stop it, cat. I don't want you in my lap. Go away.
Maybe he's a Zelda fan.
No, he just wants to be in my lap constantly. Like, I don't always mind it, but sometimes he just really gets in the way.
Probably rather have me.
I like
Wah.
them because they're very big. They're very fun spectacle bosses.
I forget what. It's been a while since I.
There's the big. They're all like really big, except for Ganon. But Ganon's fun because he's an actual like sword boss.
The fucking final boss of Twilight Princess was a fucking wacky
Toilet
deal.
Princess?
Yeah, sure.
I think.
Really?
I think with Twilight Princess, like, I don't know. I like
At
the
least-
Stalfos boss fight. He was fun.
At least I
not
didn't
fun.
say.
He was fun to look at.
At least I didn't say Twilight Incest. And yeah, you're right. But yeah, the final boss battle with Zant. That dude was fucking like wacky. He made the weirdest fucking
Zant
noises.
is like amazing.
He's so weird. Like, I never knew how fucking cuckoo that dude was. He made so much weird noises and shit when I was fighting him. Like, he was just a fucking crack addict or something. Like, fucking weird ass boss fight.
I love him. So goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly feel that they didn't do Zant properly. They did him dirty.
Yeah, it was a little bit left field.
Although the cutscene after that boss is amazing.
They were way too obsessed with having Ganon be involved.
I need to go to bed.
Okay,
Nice.
sleep well.
See you.
Wah.
I think Midna blowing up as Zant was great though.
I hadn't played it since 2019, so my memory is a little faded. So it was the last
Midna like
time I
gets mad at Zant and dabs him,
played. Yeah.
then he blows up.
The Ganondorf fight in Wind Waker was really annoying too.
I think Midna was a fun fight.
I remember when I was younger, for some reason I had a little bit of a crush on Midna, Twilight Princess. Don't know why. because I'm not
Crush
even.
immediately disappears when she turns.
I'm just. Was this weird because I'm not into like you know, women or femininity, so it's like I don't know why.
It's not that Noah's fun to talk to.
Honestly, you're more into whoever is most snuggly.
I think Midna was fun to talk to. She had a really good personality.
Maybe that's what did it. Because I think I tend to be more into personality and vibe more than anything.
Yeah, she was mean, but like she never really hid anything from you. Like from the start, she was upfront to you that she had ulterior motives, but that you needed.
That might have been maybe why, because I do really appreciate people that are, you know, honest, genuine, upfront, and forward, and all that.
She never like lies.
Never actually tries to hurt you.
Yeah, she like
No,
she's
so,
like a gremlin. Like she's
Yeah.
tricky, but she also like never actually does anything.
Like she's a little bit cocky and playful, but not to the point where it's annoying or overwhelming or whatever.
Also, like the Twilight Realm is one of my favorite locations. Like
Oh
one of my
yeah,
favorite settings.
and the Twilight, those weird fucking Twilight Beast things that you had to use the Wolf-Link form to like chain attack all of them to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Well, technically, all you needed to do was get rid of all but 2 normally, and then use that.
I had that all when I was.
Oh, I just love the design of those things. They're so fucking freaky looking.
Really, Felix?
I was
like
thinking
the
that too,
Twilight Realm
honestly.
dungeon. I like the Twilight Realm dungeon too.
Look
I
at
kinda
that.
wish the Twilight Realm was more like the Otherworld and the. I guess a Link Between Worlds is the only way I can compare it to. Like I wish the Twilight Realm was like that. Well, it kinda is. The difference is you kind of lose access to the Twilight versions of like destinations.
I like how there's a stone just right in front of that staircase. Like you ain't getting down.
Huh?
Like, we talked about how there's like 2 Wind Waker sequels.
Does that really surprise you?
There's Phantom Hourglass, which I know nothing about.
I've never played any of the handheld Zeldas actually.
The handheld Zeldas are some of the better ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, hey there, Felix.
Yeah, we now have 2 Felixes.
So is that a Feli?
We have Felix Asher and Felix Boltwood now.
I think
We're doubling up on the Firefoxes. Well,
Yeah.
not Firefoxes. I don't know what kind of character Felix has, if they do have one. But we're doubling up on Felix's for sure.
Like Between Worlds, I see get raced off a lot because it's technically a remake of
What's a Binturong?
The Link to the Past, I think.
Oh, you're making me Google shit again.
What?
Huh.
The heck is a Bintron?
I gotta find that out.
Something's been wrong with you.
See. I only just now got the Twitch up and running.
Let's see. That is an interesting looking critter.
Wait, what?
The cat bear.
Huh.
Saturated with
It looks kind of scrungly and angry.
so
Scrungly.
basically me.
Either that or some of these pictures make it look depressed.
You sound scrumbly and tired.
But
No,
it's an
it's
interesting creature. I've never seen anything like that. I learned something new today.
Throwing something at you.
Why abuse? You owo hoes. But yeah, I've been wanting to do this one for a little while. Apparently the save battery still works on this one.
Nice. Yeah, I remember the Oracle games are really fun. Let's see, is this ages or seasons?
Ages.
Ah, nice. I played seasons. I didn't play ages, so.
Oh, you missed a lot of extra stuff then, didn't
I
you?
tried playing on an emulator in high school and they shut down the emulator I was using. Oh. They didn't shut it down. The school banned all things that weren't directly approved by the school. Which,
Yeah, I remember those days.
worst decision they've ever done. Made the Chromebook run 5 times slower.
Jesus.
Yep, those are the days.
I remember at school we had a flavor of the day proxy that had a stupid URL every time, and someone at the school would basically pass it out every like week, so we could get around their blocking.
Also, the thing is, they never actually directly blocked anything, nor did them blocking any that solve any problems they're trying to solve. They just kind of made a bad decision. I think blocking everything is a bit extreme.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, they were probably being fucking stupid.
They were. Ended up causing more problems.
School IT departments don't generally actually give much of a shit.
Yeah, they're looking for the easiest solution to something rather than the best one.
Unfortunately.
Well, more like the cheapest one, because with the budget school systems have, they can't do shit anyway.
I don't know, I need to re-download an emulator, I forgot what it's called.
Just use your Switch at this point.
It might be easier, honestly.
Besides, if it screws up, you can just blame Nintendo at that point.
My PC has more battery than my Switch.
Oh, never mind. Actually, already. Yeah, never mind.
Also, what do you guys think about how this is coming through on the Gamecube?
It seems great, honestly.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, so here's the basic thing about it. So, this is essentially a Platinum GameCube with a matching. I had to get a Japanese Game Boy player because that's the only ones that were silver.
Oof.
As a result, I didn't care whether, because it was region locked, the software is region locked. I didn't care about what I needed to get for the. Psst, no, don't get in my lap now, cat. Stop.
My cat always did that though.
Well, it's a wireless controller. It's easier to deal with. But it isn't. I'm using a Game Boy Advance SP as a controller.
Huh.
Yes, you can do that with that link cable. So basically,
Oh, wow.
I have the Retrobit HDMI converter plugged into the back of this GameCube. So it has that to allow it to do an HDMI output right to my Yamaha receiver and then out to my capture card. So on top of all this, with all that happening, Game Boy Interface has a sharper image than the actual Game Boy player software. So we're using all original hardware here.
Well,
Granted, since I'm using Game Boy Interface, I have to use Swiss. So the game that's currently in the GameCube is basically Wind Waker, because that's how you do the exploit.
Huh.
Oh, so it's kind of like one of those things like where you use the Smash stack with Smash Brothers Brawl to exploit and run your Gecko codes through it.
Yeah, you were smashing the stack, as they called it.
Yeah.
I'm not bothering with this puzzle. I'm just gonna look it up.
When you stumble into an area on Zelda and a random NPC gives you a side quest.
Oh, just. a very suspicious isolated chest in the middle of the lake. That, you know,
Probably
there's
some
something
really
down in it.
important item you can't get
Right.
in the late game. You have to backtrack to that spot.
I love it when games do that, when they tease you like that,
Zelda?
or
Old Zelda games have that a lot.
or even
Oh,
better
well, there's
when
one. You've already found this one easily.
I also like adventure JRPG games that like you see areas that look very interesting and you want to know what's
Actually, that's the entire Metroidvania genre.
yeah, that too, but it's like
Yeah.
you see an area it's like, oh, I want to know what's in there so bad, it looks so interesting, and you'll never know until later. I love that.
Hollow Knight's really good at that.
Okay, last fairy.
Any RPG or adventure.
I was gonna say, that seems pretty simple. All you'd have to do is pay attention to where they are, where they
No.
go.
It's really not that simple.
Random.
Oh, I hated this part.
Oh, it's a randomized.
No, it's not random. You have certain paths. It's like the Lost fucking Woods, combined with
Oh,
remembering which screen they're on.
Gee.
It's not the worst thing in the world. You'll eventually get it. But it is irritating.
Fair.
That was fun. Let's play again.
No.
Fuck you.
Does it take your ears?
By the way, how have you been doing, Felix? Feeling any better?
Alright, had a bit of a scare a few days ago with my car. But
What's wrong, honey?
So, I got, the transfer and the DMV stuff, and that was all supposed to be done by the dealership because it was part of our agreement. I even paid extra for it.
And then you got pulled over?
No, actually. I went into the DMV because I wasn't getting the paperwork for this. And I was expecting to do that. I'm like, oh, maybe just the DMV is being slow. I go in, I ask the DMV, so what's going on with this? As in, they're like, number one, you don't own the car. And number two, there's not even the start of a transfer of ownership process here.
Yeah. I bet you. Did you go and get them to fucking fix it?
It's been like 3 weeks, and yeah, I called them up. I went through several people, and I'm just like, excuse me, what is going on? And they're like, oh, it's the DMV's fault. They're just being slow. That's not what I was told.
Uh-oh. I
breaking-
broke the cave.
Oops.
And did it cave in?
Ah.
I thought those were pieces of raw ham just like flying down.
You thought they were ham?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Mikey.
You can't get inside.
I need to bonk you.
Bad. Can't believe the volley blew up the cave.
Still get volley. Was that a cutie noise?
Yes. Felix is cute. This is a known quantity.
Of course it is.
Then again, what Vulpix isn't cute?
Also true.
Fair point.
He's the first one ever.
Oh yeah. Fuck you. I gotta say, it was really awkward trying to play Game Boy games on the GBASP though.
Yeah, the SP has a weird way to hold it.
It's a
I'll
little
admit.
postage stamp.
Hit the postage.
I never had one, but my stepbrother did, and a couple times that I had played it. This thing feels like fucking using like tippy fingers to like hold it like little fucking postage stamp.
It's a little tough, but I will admit the enhanced backlight that the SP had was amazing.
Yeah, it was. At least I had a Game Boy Advance growing up, and I had to use one of those warm light things when I was in the backseat of the car at night, and that didn't really do much justice. If anything, I put a nasty glare on the screen too.
Remember things like the magnifying lens ones?
I had that too,
Oh
and that
gosh,
didn't
I
do
had
fuck
one.
shit for
We
me.
all got those shitty accessories trying to make good of a bad situation.
I had my mom get me all kinds of shit like that for like Christmas and stuff all the time, and I had like all these different accessories because of that. But like they never really did anything that great. I still have my purple see-through Game Boy Advance too, and the battery cover is missing for it.
I'm pondering if I could just get a nice metal button and case replacement, but that's just kind of a pipe dream currently.
Oh yeah.
It's just expensive.
You said that and you almost said that like a Scottish accent for some reason. It's almost expensive. I like how the sprites move in this game too, like they shift back and forth as their idle animation. I don't know, it just always amused me.
That's very funny.
It's just yeah, I don't know.
You just vibe them.
Yeah, that's what they look like they die.
Is this
I wish
vibrating?
I wish that
Ooh.
was my idle animation.
Try doing it in real life, I wonder how hard that would be to just have like 2 frames of movement.
No, 2 frames of movement where you're going back and forth.
Yeah, it would be impossible because you're smoothing out all the time. You can't just snap to the other position immediately. Unless you edit a video about like a video of it. Or you could just take a picture of yourself and then take another picture in the other direction in the same pose and then just make them like go back and forth.
I don't like the
I am yawning so much. God damn.
It is
That's so
time.
Anytime you yawn, I'll just hold your mouth open.
That just flies.
It is time to nibble the Valley's ears. That'll wake him up.
Nibble them. Just shove the entire ear in your mouth.
Bingus.
That works too.
Just chew on it.
But yeah, due to the length of the cable that I have from the system, I basically have to face the TV in my room.
It looks like you're kissing them. Also, why does that stair appear above your head like that now? That's weird. Oh, shiny.
The Harp of Ages. You remember the commercials for this?
Oh
I've never
yes,
seen
that's
it.
the main item of this one. I remember.
Let's say.
Yawn, 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 yawn.
Really, I suspect you to learn from hearing the song once.
I mean, Link is naturally very good at learning any tune.
Yeah.
That's a trend that's been across multiple games at this point.
Link is big. Like, if I recreate Link in like Pathfinder, I'd make him a thaumaturge.
Hello, you are the new Link.
That would make sense.
Thaumaturge is basically about magic items and getting a lot of
A melee mage.
melee mage. Not
So I
really.
could see Link.
Like what defines Link is the amount of crap he has in his pocket.
Do not go do Gish builds. They get fucked.
They're okay in Pathfinder. The two Gish classes are Magus and Summoner.
I'm gonna go with the ham again.
Magus is obvious. It's sword and like
Sword and
using
magic.
the sword with spells. And then Summoner is funky. You basically have two of like you have two characters that share one health pool. One is the big chonky tank, and the other one is the squishy caster.
Summoners have their own personal summon and Eidolon that
They also have a stupid
Oracle
amount
of
action
Ages.
economy.
they can summon at any time.
This is my controller.
Like, it's not whatever, although it takes 3 actions to summon. So it's better just have the summon out.
It's a lot easier to do that. Most of them have it of it just walking around.
Look how crisp it looks. Well, it's not my fault that your eyes don't work right without them.
Hey, I'm going to get to bed. Good night.
Alright.
Good night.
But yeah, I can actually play this game without my glasses.
I think I'd make Link a Thaumaturge. Thaumaturge
Aw,
is about,
Mikey ran away.
Thaumaturge is basically about exploiting enemy weaknesses and having specialized magic items. You get like up to 3 of them, and they level up with you. It has a lot of options, and the entire class revolves around exploiting weaknesses in enemies.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
The Ranger, except it has a different focus. Thaumaturge looks like a spellcaster, doesn't it?
Oh, I mean, Link isn't truly a spellcaster.
I mean, he has magic in some of the games, but...
He's only used it as like a few spells.
He only uses magical tools.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
is why I make him like a Thaumaturge or an Artificer in D&D.
Yeah, but he didn't develop the items.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah.
He doesn't create them.
Thaumaturge technically finds them. Thaumaturge is like... The random mirror in your pocket is now a mirror that lets you make a illusory double of yourself.
Hello, Chubby! Welcome on in, how are you been? Thank you for the raid, honey. How you doing? Ya tiny bean. Tiny little man.
Nothing else that fits Link in Pathfinder besides like Fighter.
I was gonna say Fighter kind of fits really well because
Taco? I want a taco, give me the taco.
Pathfinder fighters are all about
He barely relies on his swordplay in most of his games. Most of the time, he's just exploiting the items he has.
I mean, fighters do that too.
Yeah, but there are classes that revolve
Wow.
around that are better.
Fair.
I also think that Link's entire like combat is more of like you get items that specialize in combating certain enemies.
Wow. Welcome beans.
Link is like a
Avorian? What's
sword-
Avorian? Keep in mind, I'm paying attention to chat too, guys.
Yep.
I'm not sure what I know Avorian is.
But like Link's like a marshal that plays like a spellcaster for your multi-tool. I guess one D&D fighters would technically fit, but when D&D fighters have other issues. The optimal way to play a 1 D&D fighter is to just have 5 weapons in your pocket.
That sounds pretty interesting. The closest thing that I know of that's like that might be X4, I think.
princess. She clearly won't be interested in you. You don't have something gray.
Well, she's actually a queen in this case.
Still. Aren't you supposed to be like the receptionist if you work there? That's not like
What?
receptionist if you just shoot people away.
Apparently this guy doesn't like gaseous seeds. Which is basically gotcha seeds.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, pirate melting machine. Yeah, those are fun to build.
You really want to mess with tournaments, like RGB earrings.
Wow.
They look fun to poke. Jingle around.
I'm pondering, asking, Sykes about making those earrings.
It would be hard. Like,
But I'd want them to pair with the same style as my glasses that I've got. I don't have the glasses in my VRM, though. Mostly because I fucking hate working on VRMs.
That's right, I need to finish something for Faye. You wanna make me some blend shapes that I keep forgetting. I feel bad because he is really important to it, but I keep forgetting, and right now I'm too tired. It's probably out of sync for your game.
That sounds freaky.
I want more game styles like Bloons Tower. I like Tower Defense games, but like I don't know why I can't play other ones like Bloons in particular.
Apparently Bloons is now free on Epic.
Yeah, Bloons is fun.
It's not my thing. I don't really like tower defense.
I think it's a good like oyster. I much prefer playing on my phone than anything else. Like, wow, I'm bored and I have nothing to do and I have my phone on me. I guess I'll open up a tower defense game. That's pretty mindless.
Sleep well, Chubby. Bye-bye.
I can't play most tower defenses because I'm not that great at them. Same reason I can't play things like what's it called, that one like space game that Blizzard has.
StarCraft.
StarCraft, yeah. I can't play games like that because one, I'm on a time limit, and two, I'm so bad at resource management. Luckily, Bloons, I don't have to be good at all. I just plant down the funny-looking monkeys and get the upgrades that look fun. Or officially in autumn. So did you plant the crop in autumn? Because that's not a great time to grow a crop.
No, it's just a color palette for the past.
Yep. Seasons, and you have all the seasons going out of order, so yeah, you can plant during autumn.
If you dare attack that cable cat, you're going to die.
No, but
Metaphorically
autumn's
speaking.
Autumn's like a really bad time to plant things. They'll die in the winter.
That kitten always likes sticking their nose where it shouldn't be.
You want to plant in the spring so that it grows over summer to be harvested in fall.
I think you're overthinking all of this, ATC.
I'm speaking in gardening terms.
Yeah, but I think you're overthinking everything involved in the game.
A bit.
I
You're a
like
s-
gardening.
You're a potato.
I like gardening. It's fun. Apparently the only one in my family that's good at it.
But
Push those blocks.
yeah, but that's not going to matter. They can only generally be pushed once.
Yeah, you
I don't have the Rock's Feather.
You don't need the rocks.
I do need the Rock's Feather, actually.
Go back.
You weren't paying attention. Brain, cobalt brain. I need to be able to jump.
No. You can push that rock to the side.
It won't. No, I can't. It's. What? Why would I go that way though? Fine.
You can go down and loop around.
Here, I thought I wasn't. God damn it.
Whoop.
I hate those enemies.
I hate this.
Yeah.
I think you need to, oh my god. I think you need to push the rock on the other side.
Yeah, I know. I figure it out now. Fair enough. All I got was fucking seed.
That was not worth it.
Jeez.
Well, now I have to deal with the buzzing for all eternity. The beeping for all eternity now. I wish there were potions in the 2D games.
There are. They're just automatic. It's the magic medicine. I do remember that I hate the boss in this.
Yeah, 3D Zelda games aren't really known for their bosses.
What do you mean? Wait, 3D Zelda games on
The 2D ones.
Oh, the 2D bosses.
They're not awful.
That. I'd say Link to the Past.
Wow.
Same with Minish Cap.
Just depends.
I hate the force. I hate the ones that require the four sword
I do
use, though.
remember the ones in Link Between Worlds being fun, but that was because they actually used the pseudo 3D mechanics. But like, yeah.
I also, there was a lot of ones I enjoyed.
There are so many games.
Gosh, Four Swords Adventures even was enjoyable.
I
Not the-
never
the
beat
original.
that because my family stopped playing with me.
The
We
Four
got
Swords
the-
Adventures one was the one on the GameCube that you could play with one player.
Well, I wanted to play
Wasn't
with
that
my
something that
brother.
didn't get sold very much and now is hard to get your hands on?
Yes.
Yes.
Our way to get it, and then my brother.
A lot of
kind
people.
We have like the link cables too for the Game Boy Advances.
That's what I'm using to play right now.
Yeah, we could link our GameCube to the Game Boy Advance. and then we could play Force Wars Adventures on player with that.
It's also useful for Pokemon Coliseum.
Oh gosh, yes. I trained so many Pokemon up using Mount Battle.
I think Force Wars Adventures was really fun though. I just play it. I got reminded of it when forget what was it called? When were those 3 links came out?
Oh yeah, the Triforce or Triforce Heroes, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was.
That's what the had. I think it was fine. It just wasn't really what people were looking for.
I mean, everything it did, the Four Swords games did better.
I mean, I did like the clothing.
Yeah, the coin was interesting, but like, it was so limiting having only one item.
I think it was
Not being
fine.
able to
It's
hot
more
swap
fun with
it.
friends than it is alone.
Yeah, it was unplayable for me alone.
I played with friends.
Those are the mystery seeds! Nice work, kid.
I'll take you to the palace. Like, I imagine it just picks you up. Child, you are coming with me.
Wah. You look like you're ready to pick up something like an AK and go into Borderlands. That's a character. That's basically shorthand for one of my characters. Diavali. Trinipix. I will break the cannons all I want. Tally ho! Let's fire the cannon down the stairs, darling! Do it. You'll regret it if you don't. And you're gonna be itchy as fuck. Just get it over with. If you got a haircut, shower immediately after. There's no other way to do it. Oh yeah, I'm streaming that. I have you have given explosives to an adolescent. You are extremely irresponsible, ma'am. Did you? What the fuck are you doing to Trouble? Oh my god. My roommate just stuck the cat under his arm while cradling its butt, and it's clinging to his side with a really weird position now, and the cat's just going like, I'm annoyed.
Oh my gosh. I think the reason why they aged up Link in the 3D games was that he could more accurately wield bombs. Oh my god. They aged it, like in all the 2D games, he's really young. And like all the one of the
Actually, he's older. He is probably in. If the arts indicate, he's probably close to 16.
Yeah, I was gonna say he is pretty. He is generally a bit older.
Yeah.
I think the 3D games, he's still older.
In the 2D ones, he's generally not as young as Ocarina either.
Ocarina's is weird.
He's also considerably younger in
I think,
Wind Waker.
I think in the 3D ones, he's pretty young though. Like, again, like Three Worlds comes to mind.
Remember, Video games go hand in hand with child endangerment.
Yes. Exactly.
It's kind of hard to tell in some of the games, though. I think in Twilight, in Skyward Sword, he's meant to be kind of a late teenager, same with Twilight Princess. Actually, Link might be an adult in Twilight Princess. I don't know.
He is, I believe they specifically say it takes place right around his coming of age. So, yeah, he is actually, I think he is actually an adult in that one.
Fair enough, given what he does in that game.
The question is, what games should I stream if I ended up getting the capture mod for the original DS though?
For the original DS.
Actually, wait.
That's a good question.
Yes.
Wait. Wind Waker Link's
I also did
really
really
young.
cringe voices the entire time.
Wind Link's also really
Especially when it came to Agnes. Ruff!
young.
What?
Isn't Wind Waker Link like 10?
Yeah,
I used to own that, but that was my first time I beat a Resident Evil game, was Resident Evil
I think
DS.
Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker Link
It's
don't
just a
tie
port,
in
Ember.
age.
It played well enough. Also, remember Resident Evil Deluxe, the soundtrack that it has in there, one of the special moments in it, is the clowns farting in the basement.
Oh my god.
Because the person that claimed to be really good at making music was a complete fraud.
I think gamers are just really good at endangering themselves.
No, because he only made one song for it.
This is what you do in video games. You throw yourself in harm's way. Because progression trumps your own survival.
For you, I should create a day that never ends, so the people will never sleep and can work on the tower can continue. When the tower reaches the heavens, you shall go down in history as the greatest queen to ever live. Oh, I shall be known as the great queen, Nehru, Oracle of Ages. Give me an endless day so the people can work without stopping to rest. Young and old alike will work toward my ends.
Okay.
Yes.
What is this? Wings of Fire?
Like, the thing is, when I was a kid, I didn't realize just how fucked up this game's story is.
Yes.
Put them in a time loop, then we'll get it done.
Kaum and Kotek?
There's actually a lot of games that have things like that.
No, they basically raised him.
There's like 2 types of time loops. There's like 3 types of time loops. There's accidental time loops. Time loops because of pity, and time loops because they want something done that can't be done in one day.
Yes, that is a classic capitalist fantasy, Felix.
Yep.
Both
Those are the 3
Felixes.
types- Those
Yeah.
are the 3 types of time loops. There's the pity time loops, there's the accidental time loops, and there's the time loops done because they're too lazy to do it in one day. So like, what if this one day was more?
What if this one day was more?
I love time loop plots.
Ba ba ba
And then
ba.
And there's paradoxical time loop plots, but we don't count those because they don't make sense story-wise. And when I played, it was a game with time travel, where you steal a time travel device from a guy, and you have to use that to solve puzzles, and at the end of the game, you just are the old man at the end, and you steal the time travel device from yourself. Paradoxical.
No, you're completing the cycle.
I don't like those ones. Those ones are boring. Yes, you gave me an ending, but I'm not satisfied with this ending. You have answered the question by asking the question again.
But yeah, as you can tell, the plot device here is that Varen wants to spread despair and anguish among the land. So by doing so, she's going to make an absolute hell for the people by making them work themselves to death.
Yep.
So, the
And
plot
basically
development-
corrupting the hopeful dreams of Ambi, trying to make her lighthouse to get her husband to come back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, by the way, you meet her husband later.
Is Nehru the villain?
No,
Varen
Varen.
will.
Varen.
not-
Nehru is just us being forced to.
Nehru is the Oracle of Ages. At least this mortal Nehru.
Yeah, exactly.
But not to be confused with the Nehru from the 3D games. Who is a goddess. Or no, that's Nehru.
No, it's they're both.
By the way,
not-
if anyone's interested, I did have the Discord link posted up. We got some we got crazy silly community shit going on all the time. Lots of great
Nehru's
funny
the water goddess.
water.
Yeah, Nehru.
Lanayru is just a province name, hun.
Each of the provinces are named after various goddesses. Is In, Nehru, and Faeror.
Fayor.
First explained in Ocarina of Time, and they kept the names in like every subsequent Zelda game.
Little.
Yeah.
Little. Speak into your microphone, honey. Paper? Do you have any paper?
Oh
Am I
god.
audible again?
Yep.
No.
Even like Hyrule's named after Hylia.
Yep.
Well, duh.
And even Mount Hylia.
I don't need to deal with Maple.
I tend to not remember like the regional name, so I tend to just call it like Zora's Domain and then like Death Mountain.
What if someone decided to call it Zorbo's domain?
Oh god.
Ba 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 ba. But yeah, I've been wanting to test this out and make sure the whole setup was working for a while now, and I'm glad it is.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it is.
After all, I put a lot into getting the Gamecube up and running properly. Part of me a long time ago when I first started streaming was kind of interested in maybe trying to do like the Harry Potter RPG games. But after that vainglorious cunt started saying horrible shit on Twitter, it kind of killed the vibe.
Fair enough.
Joanne is not a nice human.
Don't you love the bumper car enemy? Isn't it your favorite?
Fuck you.
They're even worse in the future games because they knock you back when you hit them.
They do it in this one too.
Yep.
I remember being really bad in Link Between Worlds.
Technically, I could actually stream that one too. I never finished it.
Link Between Worlds is good, I recommend it.
I forgot. I forgot how I played through Link to the Past, if I did the Nintendo system thing or something else.
I don't know.
I don't remember how you do that. I remember you did get a little frustrated with it.
But I beat it! I beat that son of a bitch!
There you go.
Yeah, well, I thought the games are a little janky. Oh, well, serious. Lol.
Hello.
Yeah, boop.
Cat butt!
Yes.
It is a butt made of cat.
Yeah, so you're not careful, you might find yourself under it.
Why? Kinky mother fluffer!
Also, guess who decided
Ooh.
what happened earlier today?
What?
Twisted my ankle.
Oh god.
Oh, lovely, hun.
Yeah, I was walking out my door and tripped on my fan. Because I have like one of those like short fans.
Just reduce its mobility a bit so that it doesn't get aggravated.
That's what I've been doing.
Reducing mobility is typically how you aggravate things more.
No, not in this case. You're trying to prevent it from being torqued around and moved.
If you reduce my mobility, I would get frustrated.
Honey, you're a potato.
Does that mean we can turn into French fries?
Nah, I'd rather not chop up the kobold. You have kobold energy, honey.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Where's
I
Kobold?
don't have
That's
full,
Little
I don't have
Dragon.
full, I don't have full kobold energy, because full kobold energy is like really subby.
You are fucking subby!
I'm not!
Multiple people beg to differ.
Well, those two people have never been in a situation where I can be subby, so...
Not hard to get.
I fucking hate this dungeon.
I'm neither a top nor a bottom. I'm not on that spectrum.
It applies to what you do enjoy too, you know that, right? It's just called something else.
Yeah. I still don't really think I'm subby. I'm really bad at acting like that.
You're not just a sub, you're a sub sandwich. Did I hit the nail on the head?
More like grilled cheese.
You're not a Sergal though, you silly twit.
But cheese is 50% of what I eat.
Stop eating the Sergals.
So I eat cheese and bread. That's what I eat.
You better eat more. You better eat some other stuff too.
Okay, I eat meat sometimes. I just don't like a lot of meats.
As someone who went through culinary school, I also had to take culinary nutrition.
I
You
like
will
bacon,
get nutrition, bitch.
I like bacon, I like pepperoni, I like liverwurst, I like salami.
We're going to make you have vegetables.
I like sausage when I'm buying biscuits.
Fruit and vegetables.
The only vegetables I have are
I like bananas and apples, and that's about it. For both fruits.
Carrots, cabbage, apples,
yeah.
grapes, melons,
Grapes are okay.
potatoes.
I like potatoes. Potatoes are good. My problem with egg is also good. I should have that again.
What about
But
raisins?
my problem with a lot of vegetables is their texture is awful, and then my problem with a lot of meats is that they're too filling and their texture is awful.
You are way too picky.
Texture's a big thing for me. I care less about the taste and more about the texture.
Yeah, same here. Also, I'm a complete carnivore.
Also, gonna go ahead and call it for this time for now. We're gonna go ahead and resume next time. I actually tried to stream this game before, but I gave up on it.
So, time to raid?
Yep.
Whose space are we invading?
And are they putting 15 forward?
Are you trying to make a prediction about who's going to appeal to me doing it?
I mean, you could do, someone
There is a
playing Baldur's
chance.
Gate- You could do someone playing Baldur's Gate 3.
No. No. Because no.
Isn't Baldur's Gate 3 that's sort of just been launched as a complete mess?
No.
What?
No.
It
I was
just
gonna
came.
say-
It just fully came out.
It just launched today and it was met with like widespread praise.
I remember like the Baldur's Gate game releasing and it not doing too hot.
But yeah, you
they
basically
had a
predicted who
demo.
I'm rating.
There's a demo out. That's about it.
Yeah, there was a early access download. That was
That was buggy, but it was early access.
yeah.
Are they spelunking it?
I haven't played.
Don't bonk the hamster.
It's like D&D plus Divinity Original Sin.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
I like the combat better than D&D, but I do prefer Divinity's combat. There's a few issues, in my opinion. The action economy is fricked.
Oh, by the way, feel free to join the Discord if you want, Felix.
Also, apparently
Wait.
75%
Alright.
chance to hit means hitting
Different
once in
Felix.
every-
Sorry.
Also, live announcements tend to go out on Twitter.
Apparently,
Usually, it's let me finish my thing, and then you can go nuts. Okay? So basically, I typically have live announcements go out on Twitter. Usually, it ends up being Thursday and Friday at about 2 a.m. Though any sort of time around that time can work for me. So you might see other days, but that's my usual.
streams whenever.
About like you're done.
Oh, yeah.
now?
Feel free to drop by the Discord if you want. And you have a great day, all of you. Let's go ahead and bop the silly bean on the nose. Raid!
But I was say, this is kind of like frickin' that right. Like I don't know. Apparently, 75% chance to hit means hitting once in every 10 attacks. That's what 75% means. I am salty. Okay.
The question is, are you posting Sanctuary?
Colton with luck is actual garbage.
Hey, guess what? He just needs one more follower for 600.